Hey guys, and welcome to Planning with Crystal. Today's video is going to be all about the Harvey Nichols Beauty Advent Calendar for 2025. You may notice I don't actually have it right here. And the reason for that is, I said in a recent video, I can't afford to buy all of the beauty advent calendars. All the high-end ones, I'm buying them myself. And it costs a lot. And as much as I would love to unbox them all, it's just not possible. It's interesting actually because I've had a few comments recently and over the years from people saying maybe they don't send you these calendars because you're too honest, but that's who I am. So people come here for honesty and I'm not going to stop doing that, but it does mean it limits how many calendars I can buy. Anyway, in today's video I'm going to give you my thoughts on all of the items in this calendar and I'm going to tell you why I didn't buy it. Now I do already have a few of the items in the calendar, so I'll show you those as I'm going along and I'll show you pictures if I haven't got the item, but I do have thoughts, so let's jump into it. I've got my Halloween dog mug, which has got my lipstick on it. You know, it's September in the UK and let's make the most of the Halloween dog mug. So the calendar costs £250 and is said to be worth over £1,000. One in every 50 advent calendars will contain a Harvey Nichols gift card worth £50, which would definitely be a bonus if you were lucky enough to get that. So obviously I don't know what comes in which day, so I'm just going to go through the listing and like I said, give you my thoughts. The first item is the Augustinus Beta, the Rich Cream in the 15ml travel size. This retails for £77. This was the one that was in all of the calendars for so many years. And now a lot of the calendars have moved to other Augustinus Beta products, like, and I keep going on about it, but that Liberty Advent Calendar and the Augustinus Beta, the Rich Eye Cream rather, wow, incredible. We also have seen obviously the oil and things and the retinol serum in some of the other high-end calendars, but Harvey Nichols has gone with the Rich Cream. So I don't know how we feel about that because I feel like it has been done a lot over the years, but that's not to take away from the product. The product itself is very good. It is a very hydrating moisturiser that does more than just moisturise. It definitely does a little bit of anti-aging and it's got some really good ingredients in there. The next product is from Charlotte Tilbury. It is their Airbrush Flawless Lip Blur in the shade Walk of No Shame. I quite like the shade Walk of No Shame. I've got a lipstick in that shade somewhere and I think a lip gloss. Anyway, it does say that this is a travel size, which is interesting because even the Charlotte Tilbury website doesn't have a travel size of this product. So I don't know if it's a new travel size that they're going to release or if they've made it just for the calendar. So consequently, I'm not sure the exact size on that. A full size is £29. So who knows what that's worth, but you're going to get a travel size of the product. The next product I do already have. It's by Minimalista and it's one of their claw clips, which they call the Crown Clip. And it's in the shade Heavenly. The only way you can actually tell it is by the brand is on the inside, in pretty small writing, it says Minimalista. Now this is made from a biodegradable cellulose acetate and it says every claw clip may vary in pattern and colour due to the natural formation of the material. So it does seem like a pretty good quality claw clip. It retails for £20 on the Minimalista website. It has come in a few of the advent calendars already or a similar shade of the same product. Certainly the Harrods 12-day advent calendar contained a different colour, I think, of this particular one. But you get that. You also get a Slip Pure Silk Scrunchie in pink. It might not be this exact shade of pink because they do a few different ones, but they do have this little label on that says Slip. So if you're wearing it on your wrist, people will know you've got an expensive scrunchie. So these are made from pure Moma silk. I really like these because they don't snag your hair, they feel comfortable, I like the way they look, they come in different colours and stuff. Like I said, you'll get a pink one in this calendar. Now, in terms of value, you can buy these in a pack of 6 for £45, making this worth about £7.50, price per item dividing between obviously what a pack of 6 would cost. But I do think they are nice, they're good. I like wearing them to sleep in because then my hair doesn't get tangled, but it also doesn't get like dragged around my pillow overnight. I do a lot of moving in my sleep. But what I would say about these, I do find, even though I really like them, that after about 6 months of like using them every day, they kind of stretch out. And the trick to repair that, if you didn't know, is to apparently put it in a pan of boiling water and then I think the elastic inside will kind of shrink back down to a reasonable size. So yes, even the most expensive scrunchies are not immune to that elastic stretching thing. The next product we get in here is a fragrance by Ex Nihilo and it is Blue Talisman in a 7.5 5ml size. This exact perfume size, everything was in the Liberty calendar. That's how I already have it. And normally to get this particular size of this fragrance, you'd need to buy a pack of 5. So based on that, we'll say it's worth £24 because that's what it would cost per vial if you were to buy a pack of 5. I don't know why they sell packs of like multiples of the same scent in a small size. I mean, I guess you could refill the small size and then that would just be easier. But anyway, it seems to be a thing they do. It has top notes of bergamot, ginger, mandarin and pear. The heart notes are orange blossom and Georgie wood. And the base notes are musks and ambro fix. It's a nice enough fragrance. It's not sort of jumping out as the best ever for me, but it does seem like a good quality one. And it's a high-end fragrance, but in a travel size-ish. We're calling it a travel size because you have to buy a pack of 5. I'll let you decide. The next product, and one that I'm not really excited for, is the Marvis Whitening Toothpaste in a 25ml travel size. Now, it's £5 for this very small tube of toothpaste, and it is supposed to be really good for whitening. I think this has kind of gone crazy on TikTok, etc. It was originally, I believe, labelled as smoker's toothpaste. I don't think they necessarily say that now, but it is supposed to help whiten your teeth. I just don't think a toothpaste is that exciting, personally, to find in an advent calendar. Others may disagree. The next is the Patchology Beauty Sleep Mask, like a one-off sheet mask, and it retails for £10. I bought this recently and tried it out. I like it. It's like a biocellulose mask. They say it's soaked in a gel-like formula and packed with nourishing ingredients. It's got a cocktail of retinol and peptides that work together and plump and smooth the appearance of fine lines, hydrolyzed collagen, which helps to improve hydration levels and your skin's natural elasticity. And Centella aesthetica, a plant-derived antioxidant that soothes even the most stressed-out complexions. It is nice. It does seem to do a little bit of plumping and refreshing the skin. And the idea is you put it on at night as like a night treatment. You wake up in the morning, your skin looks a little bit better. I think it does to a point. Obviously, there's only so much you're going to see from a sheet mask. But I do like the Patchology ones. I feel like the price point on them isn't as high as, say, 111 Skin, but they do a really good job mask-wise and stuff like that. So I do like it. And I would be happy to find that in my advent calendar. Next, we have a candle from Jo Loves, which is interesting because not a lot of high-end advent calendars have included candles this year from what I've seen so far. Anyway, this is not the exact one you'll get, but it's this kind of style, this plain white with Jo Loves on, and then it'll just have the name of the scent, and then it will look exactly like this apart from that. So the scent that we get in the Harvey Nichols calendar is amber, lime and bergamot. And it's a votive candle. They sell their votive candles for £35 for the 70g candle, but they don't appear to sell this scent in that size. So again, I don't know if it's made for the calendar or if they're going to make that particular candle in that particular size in general, because they do sell this, like I said, just not in every single scent. Hopefully that makes sense. The next 2 items we receive are from Sisley Paris, and these definitely make an appearance kind of every year in a lot of the calendars or goodie bags and things like that. It's from Sisley, like I said. The first one is the Black Rose Cream Mask in a deluxe 10ml size, and this is only 10ml, so it is a sample, but a full size of this is 60ml of the mask for £142, making this mini worth £23.66. So it's called a mask, but you put it on as like an overnight treatment, so it's kind of like an overnight moisturiser, I would say. That came in one of my other advent calendars, that's why I've got it there. The other item I've also tried from Sisley Paris that also comes in this calendar is the Black Rose Skin Infusion Cream, which is a moisturiser, and that you get 10ml, but a full size is 50ml for £182, making that worth £36.40 price per ml. It says it's crafted with a silky texture that transforms into micro droplets of water. That wasn't my experience, it was just a good moisturiser. This cream is the ideal daily moisturiser for all skin types. It contains black rose extract to moisturise and smooth the skin, alpine rose extract to combat dullness, and Padina pavonica extract to further moisturise and plump the skin. Next, we get a product from La Prairie. This is the Cellular Swiss UV Protection Veil SPF 50. Now, this is a moisturiser that also has SPF in it. Is it a moisturiser? Is it SPF? Well, what I can tell you is it's very expensive. A full size is 50ml for £195. But in this calendar, they give you 5ml. 5ml. So that's tiny. That's literally half of this size, but the 5ml is still worth £19.50 price per ml just because of how expensive it is to start with. It says guard the complexion against harmful UV rays and environmental aggressors with La Prairie Cellular Swiss UV Protection Veil, a hydrating day cream from the Swiss brand's luxury skincare range. It's designed to benefit all skin types, and it's a silky treatment fortified with a blend of effective UV filters along with antioxidants that work together to prevent cellular damage. It keeps the complexion feeling soft and nourished while working against hyperpigmentation and discoloration. Like I said, I mean, I would like to try this. It sounds interesting. I do think it should be bigger than 5ml, but I'd like to try it, but it's not enough to make me get the calendar because it's so teeny tiny. Anyway, we also get a full size of the NARS Light Reflecting Press Setting Powder in Crystal in a 10g size, which like I said is full size. This is worth £35. I have used this. It's a white powder, like I said, a pressed powder, but it doesn't look white on the skin. It just looks translucent. It's a really good powder, and I like the fact that it's like a pressed powder because it's just easier to work with. So that is a really good one. The next product is from Trini London. We actually get two products from Trini London. The first is Tiptoe, which is a 5% PHA exfoliant in a 10ml travel size that retails for £12. So this one is described as being like a kind of starter exfoliant. So good for somebody who's maybe got more sensitive skin or skin that's likely to be sensitized, or you're just new to like skincare acids and stuff. It's an active yet kind to skin PHA exfoliant for a radiant, hydrated complexion. Your first step into the wonderful world of liquid exfoliation. It's a true everyday game changer. Also from Trini London, a full-size sheer shimmer. So the sheer shimmers also have been turned up in a lot of the calendars. I like them. They are, as the name would suggest, sheer, so you do have to kind of build up the colour. So if you look at the shade and you think it looks like super, super dark, you wouldn't probably get that much colour payoff unless you really layered it up. So you can definitely sheer it out if you want to. We get it in the shade Mama in this particular calendar, which is a 4g full size worth £26. And I'll pop a picture on the screen so you can see what that colour looks like. You can use it on your cheeks, your eyes, your lips. I tend to use it on my cheeks. Then from Memo Paris, we get the Martha Eau de Parfum. So Martha from Memo Paris is another scent that has shown up quite a lot, again in like goodie bags and things like that and edits and stuff over the years, not really recently. I've only usually got it in like a 5ml size though, so like a kind of sample. For this calendar, we get it in a travel size, which is 15ml. Now, this intrigues me and I can't quite work it out. So they sell this fragrance in a 30ml for £120. So if you worked it out price per ml, it would be worth £60. However, their travel size is 10ml, which retails for £53. So where are they getting 15ml from? That's not quite clear. Now, sometimes they mess up the listings, don't they? And it could be that it's actually 10ml instead of 15ml. I don't know. But it's just interesting that they have different size travel sizes otherwise. Anyway, it's got notes of mandarin, agave accord, oil of ylang ylang, oil of sandalwood, oil of cedar, and vanilla seed. And then from Hermetica Paris, which I think is another scent that another brand that we've had in the calendar before, we get Peony Pop Eau de Parfum in a 5ml, which is a mini kind of sample size. A full size of this is 100ml for £165, making this worth £8.25 price per ml. Hermetica's Peony Pop Eau de Parfum is a bouquet of pink flowers. The osmanthus absolute and the peony molecule bring a sweet presence to this rosy fragrance, and the raspberry essence can reveal a gourmand twist on one's skin. That sounds good. I don't know if I've tried that one. It's hard to remember, but I've definitely tried something from Hermetica Paris. Next, we get a shampoo and conditioner, which I already have. I've had this. I think I got these in a Harvey Nichols edit, in fact. So we get the Colour Wow Colour Security Shampoo and the Colour Wow Colour Security Conditioner. These are 75ml each. Each retails for £11. 100% clean for your healthiest looking hair ever. It's not got sulfates in there. It's supposed to keep your hair and scalp clean and fresh. I like them. I don't think they are the most exciting or amazing shampoo and conditioner ever. I think they're a good solid option, particularly if you have coloured hair or if you have like fine to medium hair. I think they're particularly good for that. I'm saying that because on my conditioner it's got fine to normal colour treated hair. I don't know if they do one for maybe like a medium to thick coloured hair, etc. But anyway, it was just to give you a little bit of an idea. That's the sort of size you're looking at. 75ml is a good travel size. It would last you a good few weeks and you could travel with it because, you know, it's in a travel size. Next, from the brand Otis Batterby, we get the Bullet Blusher Brush. That's really hard to say. It says it's in a full size. However, last year we got their face brush, but it was in like, it had like a mini handle like this. So I suspect, just based on the fact it's got to fit in the calendar, that it's going to be a short handle. Now I've been on the Otis Batterby website and I can't find any of these small handled brushes on there at all. So I don't know if maybe they just make them for the calendar or something. But just to give you an idea, I suspect it'll be that shorter handle. But the full size one, allegedly it's the same size, retails for £20. Then from Rodale we get the Blush Drops in Sunset Kiss, which is a 15ml full size worth £39. Again, this has shown up in a lot of the calendars this year in different shades. I don't think I've had this shade. Frosted Pink rings a bell. I think that's the one we got, possibly in the Harrods calendar. They are nice. I mean, they're quite... that you get quite a lot in the 15ml size, and it is like a buildable rather than a super potent colour. But I think a 15ml would like last you a really, really long time. So yeah, good. I'm not sure this would be a shade for me particularly, having looked at the pictures on stuff online, so I'll include a picture, but I don't think it'd be a good colour on me. But they do add a little bit of radiance to the cheeks, a little bit of kind of freshness type colour. I do like the formulation. Then from Eve Lom we get their cleanser in a 50ml size plus a cloth. This is a full size, it retails for £48. So Eve Lom, wow, I think it's the first cleansing balm I probably ever used many years ago, like 20 years ago or something. It's been around for a really long time. I think it's kind of like a divisive cleanser in a way because it's quite herbal and like I wouldn't put this too near my eyes, it would irritate them. So I think for me personally, although I do think it's a good cleanser, I think they've come out with better cleansers have been created since this was created. So I prefer other ones, if you know what I mean. But that's just me because like I said, I struggle sometimes with quite fragranced, and not to say they've added fragrance, I think it's oils and stuff in it, but that can kind of irritate it if it gets like anywhere near my eyes. So not too surprising because it has shown up in a lot of calendars before. Then from Philip Kingsley, the Bond Builder Split End Remedy in a 50ml full size that retails for £30. So this is kind of like a finishing cream that helps reduce things like split ends and protect your hair. In independent trials, 98.6% of split ends were sealed after one application, which is supposed to make it amazing for people with bristleness and breakage. Then from Bamford, you've got the Be Silent Nighttime Pillow Mist in a 50ml full size worth £23. Lovely, lovely products, Bamford, and nice, you know, a nice pillow mist. For me personally, I don't really use pillow mist, so it's something that I go, oh yeah, this is really lovely. I'll spray it once and then I'll forget it exists. So it's not a product I use. I don't know if other people do, but I just can't get into using them. So that's not that exciting for me personally. Then we get the Trish McAvoy Intense Gel Eyeliner, which is this one. I already have this. So at one end it has the eyeliner, and then the other end we've got one of these things to kind of, I don't know, buff it out or what have you. It's quite pigmented. I actually find it's quite difficult to draw a thin line. That's my best attempt. I don't find this dries down well enough for me, which is why I don't reach for it a lot. I prefer a gel eyeliner because once it's dry it stays in place, whereas, sorry, I mean a liquid liner, whereas this, which is described as a gel liner, I find does kind of smudge and move around a little bit and sometimes stamps on my upper lids, which with someone who has hooded eyelids like I do, it's just, it makes these things even more important that they actually set and stay in place. So yeah, not particularly one for me. The next product is also from Otis Batterby, who did the brush. This is the eyelash curler. This is interesting. I cannot find this eyelash curler anywhere. Again, not even on the brand's website. So just picture an eyelash curler and you're going to get something like that. Probably, again, worth around the £20 mark. I, again, don't know if this has been made for the calendar or if it's some new launch that they're bringing out, but I can't find it right now. So imagine an eyelash curler and I'm sure you can't go too far wrong. Eyelash curlers are interesting to me because some people really don't like them. I remember the first time I used one kind of trapping my eyelid in that, so I can kind of see why. But if you get the hang of them, they can be quite good. Then we get a full-size mascara from Swede Beauty. This is the Cloud Mascara in the shade Black. 12ml full size worth £24. I've had this mascara before. I think it's pretty good. I quite like Swede products. And it has a nice little brush on it and leaves like a kind of natural look, I would say. Then from Manicurist we get the Active Glow in Raspberry in a 15ml full size worth £16. I'll include a picture of this, but essentially this is like a sort of slightly pink tinted varnish that just makes your nails look kind of glossy and healthier and adds like a hint of colour instead of like an obvious nail varnish colour. The other item from this brand is the Manicurist Active Shine, which I also have. Looks like this. Again, this is just something super simple. You can just brush on your nails and it just leaves them looking like clean and healthy with like a hint of shimmer. Again, this is a 15ml full size. It retails for £16. It says highlights and repairs, so apparently it repairs as well. On bare nails, apply 1 to 2 coats according to the desired result and let dry. And you can definitely build it. I think what's great about this and also the raspberry one that you're going to get in this calendar is they're so easy. Like even if they start to chip, they don't look super obvious like they've chipped if you were chipping a colour. So if you just want a super simple, easy to do nail, these are pretty good for that. Then from Bamford, we've got the Geranium Hand and Body Wash in a 50ml and the Hand and Body Lotion in a 50ml size. These will usually have scents of geranium, lavender and peppermint essential oils. Now I can't see them for sale in this 50ml size, but they do sell a travel size set, which I've linked. So I've put links to everything in the description box if you want to check them out in any more detail. And they do a set of these two 50ml sizes plus a shampoo and conditioner. And that set of 4 is £29. So I'm going to say that the individual Hand and Body Wash, Hand and Body Lotion are worth about £7.25 each. Then from Laura Mercier, we have a full-size Caviar Stick eyeshadow in the shade Brick. It's 1.64 grams, full size, like I said, retails for £28. Again, I'll put a picture on the screen, but for me, this looks like a colour I wouldn't wear, like a little bit too much colour for me. Maybe I just need to be braver, but it's not a colour I think I would use. We then get another fragrance from Granado. This is the Fervo Intenso Eau de Parfum in a 25ml travel size. It has top notes of orange, pomelo and bergamot, heart notes of cedar and iris accord, and base notes of cocoa, myrrh and sandalwood. This is 25ml. I can't see the 25ml size for sale anywhere, but I have had it included in my Liberty Beauty Drop. I've also had it included in the Liberty Advent Calendar, so this 25ml size seems to be the size that they do when they're putting it in a calendar or in like a beauty box or what have you. Anyway, full size is £125 for 75ml, making this worth about £41.66 if we're doing it price per mil. So far, I haven't been massively impressed by Granado fragrances. I haven't smelt this one, so this might be different. But yeah, I'm not really drawn to the brand from what I've smelt so far. And also like the bottles and stuff I've received, sometimes the labels I've not really been stuck on quite right, or like the lid's not been right. There's just been a few little sort of issues with them that doesn't make me feel that this is like a high-end fragrance brand. That might be because I've received them in things and maybe the quality control isn't as good when they're doing that, but for me, it doesn't scream luxury fragrance. But like I said, I haven't smelt this one. It may be amazing. We also get the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Boom Boom Cream, the original Boom Boom Cream in that 75ml travel size. This retails for £20. A nice product, but again, we've seen it a lot. So if you don't already have it or you've run out, then you might be glad to have another one, but it does show up quite a lot. Having said that, at least it's a travel size and not the teeny tiny 25ml that we sometimes get. But this is the one that's got quite a like gourmand, quite a strong scent that like lasts for days and also moisturises the skin really well. From Rodial, again, we also get their Soft Focus Glow Drops in a 31ml full size. These retail for £75. They contain antioxidant ingredients that helps promote a healthy complexion, as well as creating a smooth canvas for the application of makeup. Illuminated and nourished, the skin looks and feels radiant, so you can use them with and without makeup. So without makeup, they will create a naturally beautiful, soft focus, dewy complexion. They also feature light diffusing properties and contribute towards a luminous and flawless finish. I feel like I've used these like years ago, but I can't really remember. If I have, they didn't make the biggest impression on me, but I might not. I might be misremembering that. Reviews are kind of mixed. Most people, I think, like it. So yeah, you can use it as primer, or you can just use it on your skin to make it look like your skin, but better. Then from Devoness, we get that this is a strong hairspray in a 100ml travel size worth £11.50. I'm sure Harvey Nichols lists this as being a full size, but a full size is 400ml. So you're not getting the 400ml size, you are getting the 100ml size. So it's a travel size. It's supposed to be really good hairspray. I do rate most of the Devoness products I've tried, but I've not tried the hairspray, so it's probably quite good. And then on to the final two items in the calendar. And I do think, for me personally, these next two items are the two that would make me want to buy the calendar. One is the La Mer, the Renewal Oil, which is in a 15ml travel size. This retails at £120. So if you want to try that product, this is obviously a good opportunity to do that. It says to deeply hydrate the skin with La Mer, the Renewal Oil. It's a facial oil that works to leave the skin feeling firmer and imparts a youthful looking glow. The facial oil also helps to soften the look of fine lines and wrinkles. It's crafted with La Mer's proprietary Miracle Broth. This facial oil works to soothe the skin and boost rejuvenation. Multitasking and ultra versatile, it also contains lime tea concentrate to help protect the skin from pollution and environmental stress. We then finish up with the Le Labo Eucalyptus 20 Eau de Parfum in a 15ml travel size. This is worth £75. We did get a Le Labo fragrance last year. I think last year it was Santal 33 or something like that. I do rate Le Labo fragrances. They are very long lasting in my experience and they have some incredible scents. I've not smelt this one, but like I said, it'd be one that I would be interested to try. It's described as an ode to the notion of hope in a vast western desert. Just one spritz reveals the inspiration behind the scent. A sun-baked copper desert, vast stretches of sky, and a lone eucalyptus tree that stands as a beacon of hope in an unforgiving landscape. Escape the heat with the cooling freshness of this evergreen, accented by rustic leather, woody cedar and sweet laburnum, creating an awakening, complex fragrance that's rounded by woody musk and smoky frankincense. Refresh and rebalance with eucalyptus as the whispers of a long day in the desert linger. I always like to say, who writes this stuff? Well, there you go. It's not a bad way to finish, assuming that that's the last day of the calendar, because that's what they did last time. Anyway, that's the Harvey Nichols Advent Calendar. Now, the reason I didn't buy it is because, if I'm honest, it's just not exciting me as much as some of the other calendars that I did buy. And this is super subjective. So you may be watching this, listening to everything that's in it and thinking, I'm excited. If you are, then it's probably the calendar for you. If you're not, then maybe you should keep looking. It depends, doesn't it? If there's a few expensive products in here, like the Le Labo, like the La Mer, that you are like, I really want to try those, then maybe this is a calendar for you. But for me, there just wasn't enough in it at this price point to make me purchase it over other calendars. And like I said, we're all having to make a choice of which calendar can you buy. Most people are only ever going to buy one, so it's important you get the right one for you. And a lot of the products I already have. So again, for me personally, that makes it less exciting because I'd just be getting repeats of items I've already got. So it very much depends on what you're looking for. So compared to previous years, I'm not as excited for the Harvey Nichols Advent Calendar as I have been previously when I purchased it. And like I said, I'm having to make some tough decisions about which ones to get. Incidentally, like I said, everything will be linked in the description box. If you do decide to purchase anything using a link that's affiliated, then I may get a small commission for referring you, which really helps to support the channel, helps me to get the advent calendars and do these unboxings for you. And I do really appreciate all of your support. Also, if you could give this video a thumbs up, it lets me enjoy the content I'm producing. And if you want to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to be notified when my next video goes live, I will try and cover as many advent calendars as I possibly can. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.